Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Reynolds Outdoors. We're in the middle of dove season, so we thought it'd be a good idea to do our top 5 most popular, best-selling, most asked about, etc. dove hunting shotguns. And I'm going to go ahead and kick it off by talking about the Beretta A300 Ultima. And we're kind of going to do it from, I guess, least expensive to most expensive. Yep. Not saying anyone's better than the other, but we'll let y'all be the judge of that. So the Beretta A300 gas operated shotgun, these do have the kickoff here at the back, very nice on your shoulder. And a gas operated gun, for those of you that don't know, is inherently softer recoiling than say your recoil or inertia operated shotguns. It's just simply because they do not operate off of recoil, they operate off of gas. So science. Yeah, the A300 Ultima, if you're familiar with the 391s, if you ever shot one of those, excellent shotgun. Don't be scared of gas guns. A lot of people hear, oh, gas gun, no thank you. I don't want to have to replace O-rings and all that, you know, take them, get the oil changed and all that stuff. It's not like, you know, it's not the 80s anymore. Yeah. They've definitely, you know, technology has advanced a lot, especially with the gas operated shotguns. It does not require as much maintenance as they used to, and they don't use as many parts as your old 1100 did. So A300 is a great choice. Let's see, what other thing? They've done some work to the stock. They've had some, you know, some foam here and there. It's got nice extended controls, which is becoming a industry standard. Even on the wood guns, you know, they're starting to put extended bolt charging handles and bolt release. So very much like Beretta is one of my favorite brands. So this is one I definitely had to grab off the shelf and talk quickly about. Parker, what's next on our list?
So we got the Benelli Montefeltro on the list. Now this is the last generation one, so there are a few big differences. We haven't seen any 12 gauge new M2s, but they did change the receiver and the bolt, and they dropped the price actually, which is kind of surprising. But this is the last gen M2, or Montefeltro rather. It's real similar to the M2. It's going to be inertia operated. For some folks that's a selling point. Some folks don't like it. And it is a Benelli, so it does pattern a little bit higher than your Browning or your Winchester, but that's nothing you can't get used to. It can be nice once you learn how to shoot one. But other than that, super reliable, super simple. You don't have to do much to them as far as cleaning goes. Shimming them can be a little bit of a pain, but it's not too bad. Other than that, just your standard blued wood. It's a good looking gun. The Montefeltro, and then they have the M2, which we'll get to in a little bit. It's the synthetic gun, a little bit, few key differences, but not much. But it's just your standard Benelli. They haven't changed this bolt design or anything since the 90s. So it hasn't changed. It works. It's reliable. It's light. It's real thin for a 12 gauge. So it's just, you can't go wrong with one. If you just want something simple, easy to work on, and just pick it up and go, the Montefeltro is going to be hard to beat. Yeah, that's the beauty of inertia guns. Far less moving parts in those guns than a gas gun. Not saying that these have a million moving parts, but you can shoot for longer and, you know, run more boxes through it without having to tear it down and clean it. But the trade-off there is, yeah, you are going to feel it a little bit more on your shoulder. But these are all 3-inch guns. They're not duck guns, so you're not typically taking that gun turkey hunting or duck hunting. It is strictly, you know, skeet, dove. Now the thing is with these, especially on the inertia guns, to watch out for is those real light loads. You really want like an ounce and an eighth or higher to run these guns reliably, especially when you first get them. You really want to run, you know, an ounce and a quarter through them, at least a couple boxes of it, just to loosen everything up. But that is something to be aware of. You can't shoot real cheap shells through the inertia guns.
Yeah, we see it every year. Guys come in, they'll buy a Super Black Eagle 3, go buy the cheapest shotgun shells they can, and they don't run. It's like, hey, you need to send this back, or I want my money back, this gun's not working. No, that gun is designed to shoot big shells, full dram powder, yeah. 3 3/4, 1 1/4 at least, you know, starting these guns off, and as you break them in, they will shoot the lighter, not the lightest, but lighter filled loads. But I still recommend running, you know, at least a federal heavy filled load through it. Yeah. But moving on up, the Browning Maxus, another one of my favorite guns. I'm kind of a gas gun guy. I like the old gas guns. But this was I went with a Browning A400 Extreme Plus. I was going to go with a Maxus, but the Beretta did edge the Maxus out, but she has razor thin margins. I mean, this gun, I mean, whether it's the Wicked Wing or the classic Woodstock Hunter style, very, very soft, fast shooting shotgun. And like I said, it does come with the extended controls. Very, just, I mean, it's a must now. Once you use extended charging handles and bolt releases, you don't want to go back. So, nothing too crazy on this gun. Fiber optic front sight, ivory mid bead, just classic, just like the Benelli Montefeltro, just a classic Woodstock shotgun. You'll look great out there on the dove field, you know, with your buddies, and the gun shoots well too. Very premium parts. Check out the Maxus if you're, you know, in the market. And this is we are above the $1,000 mark. Yeah, I mean, once we got above the Beretta A300, the Montefeltro just edges over $1,000, depending where you shop, but you're going to be at $1,000 or slightly above $1,000 with Montefeltro, and you're going to be well in, you know, closer to the $1,500–$1,600 price range with the Browning Maxus. So, moving on, what's next, Parker?
So got the Browning A5. This isn't the classic A5. This is the new one, newish. It doesn't have the moving barrel and all that, so it's not just awful to shoot all day. It's more similar to Benelli when you break one down, but it still has the hump back. It still points like a traditional A5 does. But overall, man, it's one of the best looking hunting shotguns on the market, bar none. It doesn't matter which one you get, the Hunter, the Ultimate, they do a blued engraved one. You don't see that very often, but we do get them from time to time, and they're just gorgeous. But the wood on these is awesome, and they're the same advantages of that Montefeltro we were talking about earlier. This is a super light and thin 12-gauge shotgun. You know, recoil is a little bit more, but he just doesn't get you don't get much better looking than this in a new made semi-auto. Yeah. You just can't. They're just nice. If they point good for you, you can't go wrong with it. Just because now the hump back that sight picture is a little strange, but once you get used to it, they're awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Those and they use the kinetic drive, which is a fancy way to say inertia operated. So
and it's a 3-inch gun. You can get 3.5s in camo. Now there is a kind of a strange difference between the Maxus and the A5. They're made by Browning. The Maxus uses the Invector Plus chokes, whereas the A5 takes an Invector DS. So if you get an A5 and you already have a Maxus or SX4, you can't swap chokes.
They're not going to make anything easy. But.
No. Now it is nice, the DS chokes. They have what they call a double seal. Keeps the choke from getting carbon locked if you leave your chokes in after like a dove shoot, which you really shouldn't do that. But if you want to leave your chokes in too long, the DS is kind of the way to go because they won't get ass stuck.
One of the probably up there in the top 5 services we do is removing stuck chokes. Folks occasionally take those things out, clean them off. You know, I mean, don't leave them in there for years upon years.
They just have to be hand tight. You don't have to.
And yes, do not torque those bad boys down because they will be stuck in there permanently or for But so I know we kind of said we're going to go in price, go up in price. But I mean, this next one, I guess it's close to still in that middle, but we wanted to save it for last because Parker wants to talk about his special this is his personal shotgun.
Yeah, so I brought mine in just because I thought it'd be kind of fun, but this is a last generation Benelli M2, which I actually kind of prefer, but it's been green Cerakoted. This is a custom version of the Fred Bear camo, which is pretty cool. It's that retro look. Got a nice leather sling on there. Got a Carlson's White Wing Dove choke, which is really nice. But overall, I just had a trigger job done. I haven't sent it to Rob Roberts yet, but I might get that done at some point. But these M2s are just hard. They're a workhorse. You can't go wrong with them, especially in a Cerakoted dip. Everything. If you just need to shoot 3-inch 12 gauge and 2 3/4 12 gauge, an M2 is going to be. It's the way to go, I think.
Yeah.
You get the little bit of a comfort tech in the stock, but nothing too crazy. But it's just a tried and true, the same design they've been making for a long time. And yeah, you do have to worry about the Benelli click. It's just something to be cognizant of. Just make sure your bolts and battery before you start shooting.
And that's a main problem for turkey hunters. They're trying to close the bolt slowly, and the click
you're not going to hurt them.
But if you run the gun like that, the way it's kind of designed to do, you're not going to have that issue. But why do you prefer the M2 over the newer model, the SBE3s? And
I like the SBE3s. I just don't have the need for a 3.5-inch, and they do make a 3-inch SBE3. I just haven't got one yet. But compared to the new M2, the new M2 is great. It comes in at a lower price. You get the new bolt. The receiver, they changed the profile on a little bit, which I don't mind. I just don't like the feel as much, I guess. I don't know. It's just being nitpicky, but it's a great shotgun. I mean, for $11.99, you can get a new M2, and it's awesome.
Very nice. Well, guys, that's our top 5. our picks and also the customers what they're looking for, and they come in and ask for and purchase. This is the most we sell around this time of year, and with every season it changes. Obviously, we'll get into the duck guns closer to duck season and turkey guns and turkey season and so on and so forth. But tell us what you think about our top 5 here on which one's your favorite, which one do you like? I mean, all these guns, I mean, if I had any one of these shotguns, I would feel very good about my chances. I mean, I definitely couldn't blame the gun on my, on me not being successful on a hunt, because these are all great brands. These companies stand by their shotguns. They all have excellent warranties. So, yeah, some are more expensive than the others, but you're not just paying just for the name, but in a sense you are, because with that name comes a very good pedigree with years and years of research and development, warranty. and
ultimately it doesn't matter which one you buy. The person pulling the trigger is going to be the most important part on any of these shotguns. A great shooter with an 870 is going to outdo a guy with a $3,000 Benelli Performance shotgun. That's just how it goes.
Absolutely.
So ultimately it just matters what you can do. Now, the shotgun is just what fits you better and things like that.
So what can they do to make themselves better shooters, Parker?
You shoot more.
There you go. Easier said than done, right? I mean, you've seen how much shells cost. But yeah, shotgun sales are still not, I mean, they're still not terrible.
They've gone up a lot.
A few years ago it was a lot better. But we won't get into all that. Well, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Please comment. Let us know what you think, even if it's not nice. We love reading the comments. But yeah, just let us know, like, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.